Rashid pulls back his hood, revealing scars that cut across his face like somber rivers. His gaze burns with contained fire. "My name is Rashid. I was the sect's guardian," he declares, his deep voice echoing through the ruined courtyard. The blade that once threatened me now gleams against his muscular chest, reflecting the ancient symbol of the Varian. In an instant, I realize that my savior and my adversary are the same person, and that nothing will ever be the same. The sun rises behind the collapsed walls, staining the rubble with crimson and gold. Kale adjusts his bow, eyes cautious, while torches flicker out in the silent courtyard. The Imperial troops have momentarily retreated, held back by Rashid's magical barrier, but tension still smolders in the air. Lucius Varian, the last son of the East, walks beside his newly revealed guardian, feeling the weight of his legacy pulsing with renewed intensity. The sect's fortress seems to breathe beneath our feet. The worn stones whisper tales of power and betrayal. The distant desert stretches endlessly under a sky that promises a storm. Our immediate goal is simple and dangerous. Head for Al-Zahir, where the second fragment and the next manuscript await. But the path demands stealthy routes through enemy villages, treacherous deserts, and ambushes by shadow janissaries. If we fail, there will be no second chance to restore the Varian throne. As we move through the East Gate, a rebel messenger appears, bloodied and breathless. He collapses at my feet, offering a pact. The city of Ioun is surrounded. There, a traitor captain flaunts a map, the Map of Shadows, the second artifact. His fingers point south, where an imperial fort rises like a jagged tooth in the sand. Without the map, we will never find the last hiding place of the sect's followers. Rashid lifts the messenger, scrutinizing every scar. "He speaks the truth," he confirms. "I know the captain, a traitor who sold our people for gold. But he will be surrounded by guards and mystical traps." Kale whispers that we can bypass the fort through the northern aqueduct, an old irrigation tunnel leading into the inner courtyard. The electrifying idea sparks courage in my chest. Infiltrate Ioun, recover the map, and escape unnoticed. But suspicion throbs within me. Rashid, now our ally, was raised by the sect's wise men. What guarantees his plan isn't a trap? We decide to move through the aqueduct. I tear my cloak, tying it over my face as an improvised mask, and Kale silently follows. The damp tunnel licks at my boots with puddles of murky water. Up ahead, the sound of heavy chains and harsh voices warns of sentries. I crouch low, clutching the twilight fragment to my chest. The air thickens, and then I hear the click of a trap being set right behind me.
Quick tip to level up your experience. Read Manhwas and light novels for free. Listen to epic audiobooks. Watch unlimited anime. Play cloud games with no console. And stream the best anime soundtracks. Check the description now and grab your free trials.
I leap aside, rolling over slippery stones as an enchanted arrow buries itself where I stood a moment ago. Kale fires a flaming arrow, burning the hidden lever that controlled rocky spears. Rashid appears before me, swinging the ancestral blade in a warrior's arc, cutting through a web of mystical wires meant to ensnare us. We claim the passage. We emerge from the tunnel into the heart of Ioun, an inner courtyard adorned with alabaster columns and dry fountains. Under the burning torches, I spot the traitor captain among imperial generals, displaying the Map of Shadows, a massive scroll studded with silver runes. He smiles, confident. His shield bears the imperial insignia. Kale grits his teeth. He's surrounded, but protected by dark magic. The full moon shines over the courtyard, and I feel the weight of the map resonating with the fragment in my pocket. Rashid approaches silently and whispers, "Watch how he draws power from the runes. He needs pure Varian blood to control them." The revelation slices through the tension. The traitor wants to use me, to activate the map and command shadow legions. If we don't act fast, Ioun will become the prison of my own betrayal. The captain raises the map and speaks words in a dead tongue. He appears to be reciting a summoning spell, and luminous runes descend from the walls, enveloping the scroll in a macabre glow. But as he lifts his arm to complete the ritual, he hesitates, lifting his gaze toward me. His eyes shimmer with recognition, not for the scrolls, but for something in me. My blood chills with cold and anger. He steps back and orders his guards, "Seize the heretic." Rashid pushes me aside, grabbing Kale by the arm. They use your name to justify atrocities, he growls. What will you do now? Let them say the last Varian betrayed us all. My legacy's betrayal is written across my face. My blood mixes with the enemy's, different in armor, but equal on the blade. I know there is no avoiding a fight. Plan, I say, voice dry. Create a distraction in the east corridor. Kale, ready the shadow bow. It has arrows that swap places with shadows for a moment. Rashid nods, slipping down a side stair. Kale sets his enchanted bow, his gaze fierce. My plan needs surgical precision. We'll storm the central courtyard, seize the map, and escape through the drainage channel before the fort is fully alerted. As Rashid disappears, I spot Nyla, the sentry I'd crossed paths with at the sanctuary, emerging from an ornate door. Her eyes glimmer in the torchlight. I don't trust her, I whisper to Kale. He responds with a look of understanding. We'll cover all angles. Time turns against us. We must act now, or the sect's legacy will die in sorrow and lies. I breathe deep, my insides burning, and march toward the courtyard center with determined steps. The shadow bow releases a muffled snap, and Kale fires the first arrow. It vanishes and reappears behind the columns, igniting a barrel of oil that erupts in living flames. The fire eats at the wall, spreading panic among the Imperial guards. Now, I shout, rushing at the captain. Rashid appears at my left, blade raised. The captain retreats, knocking over generals who try to restrain him. I brandish the twilight fragment, feeling its energy pulse like a living heart. The silver blade gleams as I slash it through the air, leaving a luminescent trail that shatters mental chains. The captain raises the map to block, but the runes twist and break under the fragment's fury. A mystical shockwave reverberates, splintering the marble floor and sending soldiers flying like wooden dolls. Kale, at my side, plants another arrow in the guard of a spectral centurion emerging from the inner hall. The arrow shatters, releasing chains of energy that hold the ghostly warrior for a moment. Rashid leaps forward, slicing through invisible cables binding the map to the captain's hands. The ancestral weapon spins, slashing the scroll to pieces, and the runes float up like fireflies before withering away. But as I grab the torn map, I see Nyla slipping through the shadows, sword raised to strike Kale from behind. I react in a split second. I hurl the fragment to deflect her blade. The clash sounds like thunder, and the fragment falls to the ground, gleaming. Nyla staggers, eyes wide as she faces the singularity of ancestral power. I use the distraction to snatch the broken scroll, shoving it under my cloak, and grab Nyla's wrist, spinning her to face me. The whole courtyard spirals into a dance of blades, flames, and shattered mirrors. Pain throbs through my body. Rashid wields his sword, blocking a blow that nearly severed his arm. Kale lets off a final shot, felling a spectral centurion that collapses into silver dust. "Grab the map and run!" he yells, his face smeared with soot. As I dash for the courtyard exit, I see Nyla rip off her hood, revealing green eyes brimming with regret. She murmurs, "Forgive me," but there's no time for compassion. I ram into the massive wooden door, smashing it open with wild strength. The drainage corridor stretches before me, lined with twisted metal chains. Rashid and Kale are already there, hands outstretched to help me leap down. I collapse into the muddy corridor, scroll pressed to my chest, breath ragged, legs trembling. Kale slams the iron door behind me, and Rashid draws a noise-sealing rune that whispers concealment. The echoes of Imperial footsteps thunder outside. We are three shadows in the tunnel, disciples of a power ancient and dangerous. But as we push forward through the damp labyrinth, a sharp explosion shakes the walls. Outside, the fortress erupts in flickering flames. The heat scorches even down here. Kale pauses and raises his bow. They used Greek fire. Rashid spits on the ground and mutters, "That means we're not the only ones escaping." At the tunnel's end, an iron hatch groans open, and sunset light spills over me. As I look up, I see a row of shadowy guards raising spears, blocking our way. Above their helms gleams an emblem, the symbol of the Emperor himself, summoning personal retaliation. The scroll vibrates in my hands, as if the map of shadows senses our fate. I feel the weight of the world crashing down on my shoulders. I turn to Kale and Rashid, weapons raised in silence. The imperious command rings out, "Do you still dare defy the Empire?" I breathe deep, the ancestral blade at my waist throbbing with a promise of vengeance. My lips curl into a sharp smile. Whatever comes, let's show them what we're made of.
Did you enjoy the video? Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. This helps us know which stories you love most and which ones we should prioritize in future productions. Your support is essential for us to keep bringing you the best manhwa content every day. See you in the next episode.